It's like when you first start out, it's like you're excited, but then you kind of lose the motivation, the interest. But I also think that once you push past that a little bit, it's like, okay, now I build a routine for myself where it's like, if I go a day without hitting the gym, I'm like, oh, this is weird, like something's missing.
Welcome to another episode of a Voice Podcast. And today we have our guest, Kyra Masson.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Perfect to be here. I'm so excited.
And today we're getting right into the matter. We are talking about working out as a college student. So Kyra has been someone which I've been impressed with, who has been working out at the gym consistently. You know, you see some faces at the gym and then you don't see them for a few months. And so I think some of us don't stick to our good habits of working out. And you, Kyra, you've been there always at the gym. And so we're going to jump straight, like, how do you work out and everything? But before that, tell us a bit in which program you are, which year, and what do you study?
Yeah, so I'm actually second year vet tech. So it's been pretty good. It's a busy program. I grew up playing sports. I work at a nightclub here in Kingston. Yeah. I don't know. I got a lot of information. It depends what you want to know.
I think we are going to change this podcast completely. We're going to talk about nightclubs in Kingston. No,
maybe not.
We'll keep that for another episode. So, a lot of young students and mostly like girls also come to me and say, Sean, I'm intimidated about going to the gym. How do I start? Like, it seems like all buff dudes in the free weight zone. Like, it's intimidating. How do you break that intimidation?
It honestly is super intimidating. I mean, thinking back to when I started, I kind of had a good leeway into it because I played competitive sports growing up. So I was like, okay, I know a little bit of what I'm doing. But when you get into that gym setting, I mean, you see all these buff guys. You're like, oh my gosh, like they're going to laugh at me. Like I'm going to make a fool of myself. But honestly, like you kind of just have to do a little bit of research, you know, like set your goals for yourself and then kind of make a plan of like, look, like I'm going to start with this and then maybe I'll learn how to do this. And like, it's honestly just a big learning process, just with anything, right? Like in school, like you build your program on theory and then you go from there. It's kind of the same thing, but yeah.
And you're speaking about goals. So you said have a goal.
Yeah.
What are the goals usually when you started?
I mean, it honestly is really person dependent. I mean, for myself, I started out, I was like, you know, I want to lose some weight. Like I want to feel good about myself. And now I've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, I want to get like super big. I want big muscles. Like it's just funny as how time goes, your goal changes more as well. Yeah.
And so the fear of getting out of it, like where would you say like we should start?
I'd say, honestly, the best thing that you could do is, like I said, do your research, but also finding a friend to do it with and having kind of like that buddy system where it's like, okay, let's go together. Let's keep ourselves accountable. It also helps because I think a lot of people have trouble starting out by themselves and keeping themselves kind of in line and on track. So yeah, get a buddy, preferably someone who knows what they're doing, but also don't like hesitate to ask somebody for help. Like we're all there. We've all started in that same position that you have where we're learning, we're trying to figure it all out and we're trying to make goals for ourselves. So don't hesitate to ask. We're not as scary as we look, you know?
Oh yeah. No, like we are in our zone definitely when we are working out, you know, our music. I'm very much with myself.
Yeah.
You know? So sometimes I dance to my music a little bit.
Absolutely. I'm a dance
party. So I'm completely in my zone, like but definitely. Why? Because if somebody starts speaking to me, I'll continue talking.
Of course.
So that's why I have my music. Like I put a serious face. And I'm like, nobody will come to me.
I gotta focus.
So tell us a bit, like, how would you say you're different? You said you played sports earlier from a young age. What sports were you playing?
Oh my goodness, I played all of the sports. I played competitive ringette. I played competitive volleyball. I played hockey with the school. I'm sure at one point in time I did like touch football, track and field. I'm not a runner though, so I don't run. But anymore anyways. I just played as many sports as I could, honestly. Yeah.
And would you say like working out has helped you in your sports?
It definitely has. I definitely notice a difference. It's a little bit different training though, because I'm more bodybuilding, powerlifting versus I'm not training so much more to be athletic. Because I mean, there's different types of training as well too. But it definitely has made a difference in terms of strength. Absolutely.
And how would you now that you're training for powerlifting mostly? How would you say was the difference you day one starting and
Oh my
now?
goodness. Oh my goodness. Huge difference actually. I'm trying to figure it out. It definitely started
When
off.
did you start it?
I started 3 years ago. Like seriously started 3 years ago. I think like it was like January 2020. I was like, okay, New Year's resolution. Like I'm gonna start at the gym,
Yeah.
as everyone does. But I just kind of stuck with it, and then it was tough through COVID. A whole other story. But I definitely when I first started, it was more like cardio, like lots of cardio, maybe some weight training, kind of just getting comfortable with using weights. And then now it's like, okay, like I'm going in, I'm lifting as heavy as I can, and then I'll leave, But,
Yeah, definitely lifting very heavy.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a progress. It's been a process.
Oh no, my phone is always on the table. Why?
That's right.
So, it's always sneaks its way into the podcast. I don't know. And so, definitely, how much time would you say? How much patience do you have to take? I guess starting the first day, trying to get used to the weights is not the same as today. So, how would you say the steady growth journey? What have you learned from it?
I've learned it takes a lot of patience. And the patient part is actually super important because you can't just go into the gym, lift super heavy, and then walk out on your first day. I mean, it's like with anything, right? You kind of have to build the skill. But I think that's the biggest thing I learned is patience. Even now, I mean, a lot of patience with my lifts is like, okay, like one day you might be able to lift super heavy. And the next day, you know what, didn't have a good day, your body's not going to be able to do it. So it's like, okay, you know what, I still showed up, I still went, what's next?
Absolutely, yeah. And this happened to me yesterday. I was really? Like super tired, like from the weekend. I don't know why. I just did like 30-40 minutes of cardio because I feel like I've been very stubborn. I've been just lifting weights. And I feel I'm getting rusty in terms of heart rate and cardio. I just need to get back because I used to be very athletic before coming to Canada. And I was doing drills and stuff. I do my cardio very differently compared to just treadmill. I have ladders. I do footsteps to have better quick feet and circuit training with tires and stuff like that, hammers. So I used to do that, but I don't find it here. And then I said, it's all right. Let's continue just with the lifting part. And now I find myself so stiff, stretching, coming to stretching. This is why I want to come to, like, what's the benefit of stretching just 10 minutes before working out?
The benefit of stretching? Oh my goodness. There's actually a lot of benefits. I mean, the more you stretch, the better your mobility is going to get. And the better your mobility, the easier you're going to build strength. And the more you build strength, you're going to be able to lift heavier. So really, again, it depends on your goals. But I mean, stretching is, I think, so important for any sport, anyone in general. I think just to, I don't want to say feel comfortable in your body, but feel, I don't know what words I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say though?
Like you're like a
refreshed. If you stretch, you feel like, okay, I stretched, like I'm ready for my day. Like that's also a really good thing to start your day. And I mean, starting any workout too, like I said, really impacts mobility, and it's kind of like a good warm up. Like, okay, I got some blood flow to my muscles. Let's go.
Okay, perfect. Blood flow into your muscles. Yeah. That's what you get from stretching. Yeah. Really, it's like tenderizing your steak. I don't know. That's the first thing that came to my mind when I thought about it. And you say having a buddy. So you have a buddy always with you, I guess.
I do have a buddy always with me.
Shout out to Ben,
shout out to my boyfriend. Yeah. Definitely have made the most gym progress within the past couple months because of him. So I owe a lot of it to him. But I mean, that's why it's so good to have a buddy, is because you're able to learn off of them. You're able to keep each other accountable. You're able to kind of support each other and honestly just like hype each other up in the gym too. Like it helps. And I mean, I think the more comfortable you get in your own gym, the more people start talking to, and you kind of do that with a lot of people. And it's like you said, like you go at one time and you see the same kind of faces. So it's like you get to know everybody, which is super fun.
It becomes like a little community also.
It does. Yeah. It honestly really does. And it's a lot of fun too. And I mean, at first, like especially when I first started working out, like, like I did it all by myself. Like I was very like solo with it. So I'd go in straight face, music on, like don't talk to anyone. Like I'm here to work out. I'm here to leave. Yeah. But now, I mean, a little bit more social. It's the part of the day I look forward to, where it's like I don't have to just talk about school. I can talk about the gym. I can talk about whatever I want, and it's kind of good just seeing those friends and those relationships that you build there.
That's amazing. Like I used to have this back home. Like
Yeah.
When I took a year break from working, I took a gap year, and I just stayed to the gym like from 6 a.m. till maybe like 2 p.m.
Oh my
something like that.
goodness. Oh my
And
goodness.
we had that ritual, like basically like watch the sunrise.
Yeah.
We would all have our little double shot of espresso before working
Oh
out,
my goodness.
and we would be like, you would see like this table with athletic dudes, like 50-year-old guy, like 16-year-olds. It's full with regardless of your age and everyone. So we were just having chat about everything, and then we go to work out. It used to be so great.
And I mean, that's a good thing about the gym too, is that it's not just one age group, right? Like everyone's there for different goals and there for different reasons, but you're all kind of there for the same reason as well. So it's kind of nice. You can be like, oh, like, yeah, my friend's 16, and they're, oh, I'm talking to like this 50-year-old, but like everyone has their own experiences and their own goals, and you kind of get to learn from them as well too, which is awesome.
That's amazing. And I come to that, like in the gym, we all live what we usually do, like we just put our gym clothes. It's basically the sports spirit, nobody knows where you're from, what you do, and just human factor. And so how to start, actually, how to craft a workout goal?
I mean, I think you just have to really think about, I think the best way that I put it is, okay, where do I see myself in 5 years? Like, is it playing a competitive sport? Like, am I working out in order to be able to make a team? Or am I working out just because it makes me feel good? Or am I working out because I really want to start lifting heavy? I want to learn more about the gym. I'm really interested in like how far I can push my body to go. So it really kind of depends on personal interests, I'd say. It's very person dependent. But I mean, it's also hard to build goals. And I think having some people around you that have similar goals or interesting goals that you think are interesting and you want to take interest to, absolutely go for it.
And I want to come more to a personal question. You said like surrounding yourself with people with the same goal. How important is it, like having that, for example, having Ben, having your intramural team also? How does it help you having people?
It definitely helps keep you motivated. And I think that's why a lot of people start, they start with all this motivation, like, hey, let's go. I'm so excited. It's something new. It's exciting. And then it gets to a point where it's like, I don't feel motivated, like I've kind of lost that interest. So it's about keeping people around you that are going to kind of encourage you to go and motivate you to go. And it definitely helps. But I also think that there's a big aspect to it as well too, where you should keep yourself accountable. It's like no matter who you have around you, it's like you wake up by yourself in the morning, you go to bed by yourself in the morning. It's like you just have to figure out how much potential you want to reach. That's pretty much it.
And now we're coming to a question. You as a student, you have like every student, we have classes, assignments,
tons,
labs,
tons of labs. Oh my goodness. Work. Yeah.
And so how do you work out? How do you manage your time?
It's not easy. I'll start by saying that it's not easy. And I think the biggest part of it is just building a routine for yourself, and like, I think that's the biggest thing too. I kind of touched on this earlier, where it's like when you first start out, it's like you're excited, but then you kind of lose the motivation, the interest. But I also think that once you push past that a little bit, it's like, okay, now I build a routine for myself where it's like, if I go a day without hitting the gym, I'm like, oh, this is weird, like something's missing, so it's like, I go to school, I do my work, whatever, but I know at the end of the day is I have the gym to look forward to. And it's not so much I have to go. Now it's like I still have to go, but I'm excited to go. It's like what I look forward to. So I think it's just about building a routine.
How did you come to build that routine?
A lot of patience, honestly, a lot of patience. It kind of just comes with time. Like there's nothing you can really do. I think I book it into my schedule every day. I have a certain time where I'm like, hey, this is the time I'm going for. Just sticking to it and staying consistent. That's kind of how I built the routine. Honestly, just building a schedule around it. And sometimes I do build my schedule around it too. It's like, okay, I have this and this and this and this to do all day long, but this is what time I'm going to the gym at, and I hold myself accountable to it.
And I want to add to the point, having patience to building a routine to that. Like I myself, I moved in May here, and I say, I'm going to keep the same motivation, the same consistency. Nada. I was starting to be like buying food from the cafe and stuff, and it gets like, oh, you're having the easy route, and my body can no longer sustain the workout that I was doing, and then you get into, I can't do it. Then you go less and less to the gym. So I had this pathway where I dropped, and then I say, how do I improve that? And a routine is so important.
100%.
I have to say, like, I had to build like a morning routine. I say, in the morning I do that. This is what I do, classes, my work. And then I say, okay, I have this 1 hour, 30 minutes, insert workout.
Yeah, absolutely.
I say, let's add more. Let's add cooking time.
Yeah.
I basically cook every day.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
I'm like, I need to do it because, like, at some point at the end of the day, you need to make a choice into what you want to do. You know, I love going out also. I've been to pubs and stuff. Then I was like, okay, how to balance things up? You know, like I can't go out probably during the week also. So no, still balancing things. And so the week is completely boring. Yeah. Many people will find it boring, but it's like, it's peaceful. Like actually, you know, like I enjoy it, you know. Cooking every day is fun. I listen to Bob Marley when I cook my food. It's put me in such a good mood. And the food tastes happy also. And it's great. And so machine, cardio, free weights. Fuck, marry, kill.
Definitely kill cardio. I hate cardio. However, cardio is super important, so I still do it sometimes, I won't lie. Like I said, it all builds back to your goals. It leads back to your goals, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish. I mean, for myself, I definitely started with a lot of cardio. I was like, I don't have to run every day. I have to run. You don't have to run every day. I promise you don't have to run every day. But if you enjoy running every day, run every day. You know, it's simple as that. Machines are also great too. I think machines are also a great way to start into free weights because you build strength. You know, it's a little bit more comfortable. Like normally they have the instructions on the side. You can read it. Okay, this is what I have to do. You do it. Feels great. And then you can get more into free weights. And I think also taking a look around the gym and seeing like, oh, like that looks really interesting with the free weights. Maybe I'll try that next time. I think that's how you should build it.
I still like, how was your first free weight experience? I still remember my
first free weight experience. Oh my goodness. So I am actually from Ottawa. So when I started working on Ottawa, I went to a gym and they had a women's only section, which was nice. It honestly helped me, made me feel so much more comfortable. I was like, if I pick up this weight and I can't fully pick it up, then it's like, okay, I can just drop it and no one's gonna say anything, right? It was definitely interesting. It was intimidating, but exciting and a little nerve-wracking. But I also had some gym experience before that as well too, just with like training with sports teams as well. So we worked with trainers, which was also nice. So I had a little bit of knowledge, but it was definitely, I mean, if I could go back and see a video of myself, I think I'd pay to see that. 100%. 100%. What was yours like?
It was back in 2018.
Okay.
I remember my motivation was I was living in France before that in 2017. I said, when I come back, I need to I want to get back in shape because I was losing weight while working back then. And I say, wow, losing weight is actually possible.
Yeah.
Because I was a chef de rang, a waiter in a Michelin restaurant.
Oh my goodness.
And I was walking so much. I was doing 13 kilometers a day.
Oh my gosh.
So walking. So I was like, I'm getting like super.
Yeah.
I lost like 8-9 kilos just by walking every day during my shifts. Yeah. So then I say, okay, I can lose weight. So let me find ways. I started in December. I crafted my goal in December of 2017 to start in January. Okay. I think that helped a lot.
Oh, sure.
Of course, I ate everything crap. I say, I'm going to be the sacrificial lamb as from January. Yeah. So I found like good YouTubers and stuff. I'm digressing so much. So like there was this guy, fat loss expert, blah blah blah. Always at the time of YouTube back then, and there was Jeff Cavalier, like Athlete X. I think everyone who is into fitness knows a bit about Jeff. Yeah, so of course. I found his workout, and I started doing that because I had the coach at the gym say, you know what, do cardio, do a bit of abs, and do that. It was like, it's boring, man. Yeah. And this is where I found squats. Deadlifts. Oh yes. Bench presses, shoulder presses.
All the fun stuff.
All the fun stuff. Yeah. I love free overhead presses.
Yeah.
I think it's such a good combination of all workouts. It's one of my personal favorites.
Oh, nice.
It's like you start in a deadlift position, then you do the snatch.
Yeah.
And then you push for a shoulder press and then drop. I love this one.
See, I can't do that. That's the one thing I haven't tried. And honestly, like I'm intimidated to do. Like, I hit the gym like 6 out of 7 days a week, but it's like there's still some things that I haven't done. I'm scared to do, but it's like now I'm looking at other people to learn from. you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a constant process, but that's awesome. I know, I can definitely see that. That's definitely that's a full body workout right there.
It's full. And I put it more crazy now. I want to add, when I finish it,
Yeah.
I go into front squat.
Oh my goodness.
Then push. And then go into like a burpee position and do a push-up with a bar. It's so intense. I can just do 4 right now. I'm like, fuck. But anyways, I digress so much. My first experience of lifting weight was actually the squat.
Nice. Okay.
So the squat was the first one. I was okay, because I was so afraid because that was my first gym experience where I was 16 and the gym coach was a bully. So I quitted because of him. Then I restarted at 19 again. No, at 21. Okay. And I was like, okay, let's get this serious. Like, let me get that squat. Like, and it was good. I went on the Smith machine. Nice. So the Smith machine is the one which you're assisted into your squat or any workout. It keeps the bar straight for you. So I started with this one and it was great. It felt great. I put like 15 kilos in. I said, wow, this is heavy. This is super heavy. So I still remember. And I love that feeling that my legs were having. I felt for the first time my whole body. I love that intensity of free weight training. So it's like, it's not the same intensity as doing a sprint or an acceleration in a game, but it's that your whole body in that moment, in that rep, is like, oh, you're feeling it. And it's just like, then you push it up. Wow, that feels great. And after like 8, 6, or 10 reps, how much you do?
Oh my gosh,
I was like, I love this. So I'm going to stick to that.
Well, that's the thing. It's like that. It's that first feeling of almost like satisfaction and like accomplishment. It's like, oh my gosh, like I can't do it. I think that's the initial fear is like, what if I can't do it? Okay, well, what if you can't? You know, like drop the weight a little bit, like try again. But it's the first, like, you know, your first squat, you get it up, you're like, oh my gosh, like that was crazy, that was insane. And I think that's where like the love builds from. And I'm the same as you, where I started my squats on a Smith machine too. You know, I was like, hey, I gotta get my form. And I'm sure my form was awful at the time, but even just loading the weight onto it, I was like, I'm a lot stronger than I think. And I think that's where the first love for the gym comes from. Absolutely.
That's where it all starts with a squat.
Oh, absolutely. If I can say one thing, squat. That's it. Well, obviously do a little bit more on the squat, but yeah.
I quickly learned that I needed to do more upper body workouts after that.
Me too.
So
me too.
My bench press was so bad. Like,
oh my goodness.
The squats are like, but bench presses are like, and still to this day, like my bench press, it has escalated very well, but still trying to catch up to the squat weight. I said,
I mean, everyone's gonna have like their strengths and their weaknesses, and I mean, I think I'm the same way as my bench. My bench is not. my bench is the hardest one to do, but I mean, it's a work in progress.
And you were saying about reducing the weight. Have you ever ego lift?
Oh, I'm sure when I first started out, I did. Especially because you see so many people lifting so heavy around you. You're like, I have to lift that heavy. The answer is no. You don't have to lift that heavy. I think if I can give one piece of advice, it's to prioritize your form. You know, if it takes you an extra couple of weeks just to work on your form, get comfortable with your form, you know, like do your homework, educate yourself a little bit more, do it. Because over time, like if you have your solid foundation, you're going to build so much onto it. Like you'll be lifting more than the other people, I'm sure, when you get there. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, ego lifting, I want to say no, and I'm sure I did at one point. I mean, I definitely, I can think of some times where I did, but it's not worth it. That's for sure. Have you? Yeah. I think we all can say we have.
We all do, like some ego lifting. Like sometimes I'm just so like, I'm like tired, and then like, I don't know, I say, I'm very competitive, so I say, no, I need to do it. Okay. Like, even when in adversity, I say, let me add one more and see. Like, you know, it's just, you know, you have this mental thing like, you had it tiring. No, like, then I'm like, let me just add that little plate and see. Just a little bit. Like, after that, there was some ego lift, which were very bad from my side. Bench press is one of them. Like, the amount of time I had someone to just come and push
on the spot.
It's very dangerous. Nowadays, no, I don't. But coming back to form, I join you on that. Form is super important.
It is
the technique,
so important.
It's like for especially with like some workouts where you activate all your muscles, like a deadlift, for example. Now, having the proper posture, I see so many wrong deadlifts. So many wrong ones. Like the bad was completely up like that. I'm like, oh girl, like I don't want to be that bad gym dude that says. At some point, I don't want to be that guy, but I was like, okay,
Yeah.
well, your physiotherapist will tell you in 5 years.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone learns at their own pace. Like, I'm sure when I started out as well too, my back was rounded on my deadlifts and my squats probably looked awful. I wasn't even going at a full 90, but I think that comes with time and it comes with experience and even just seeing people around you. I know, like, when you're in the gym and like you're squatting, you kind of don't watch people, but I mean, you look around, you see what other people are doing, and I think even just watching other people squat and being like, their form looks really good. Like, what are they doing differently than I'm doing? You kind of get into that like learning phase where it's like, okay, now I should do my research. I'm looking at other people, and then you fix it. But yes, form, solid foundation. It's super important. I mean, even I've been at this for 3 years, and I'm still like doing days where I'm like, okay, let's drop the weight a little bit. Let's work on my form, make sure it's still good. So that way, when I go for my PR next week or I go for a heavy working set, then I'm like, okay, I'll know that I'll be in a good spot to do that. Without injuring myself. I think that's the biggest thing, is not injuring yourself.
Yeah. So what's your biggest lift? Like which
my biggest lift? That's gonna be squat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually hit a PR the other day, 315. So it was decent, but I mean, then again, it's like, now I'm like, okay, I want more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's my big, actually, no, I don't think that, I think my biggest one is deadlifts right now at 335.
355.
Yeah, 335. I think, yes, if I remember correctly, I think that's what it is. My bench is okay, but we're getting there.
Pretty good. 335.
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
335 divided by 2. I'm trying to calculate in kilos. I still count in kilos.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I can't do the math.
It's all right. No worries. But I know it's bigger. It's more than me. See? Yeah. And I've got a good, well, that's PR. So I've never tested my PR, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, it's just one rep.
True.
I love the frills where you're pushing to like 6, 8, 10. I always like to keep it between 6 and 10.
Yeah.
Because I train for strength.
Okay.
Mostly. Perfect. Well, I'm trying to lose weight.
Yeah. Great.
It's working. I'm working on that. It's slowly coming in. Yeah. Eating, of course. That's the saddest part. No, it's not the saddest part. It's actually great. It's the hardest part.
Eating is the hardest part, absolutely. And I mean, I think it was a while ago I heard that 80% of your gym progress is actually in the kitchen. And I think it's still true because I mean, you gotta hit your protein goals and you gotta clean eat, but it's also super important to have a balance. You know, like, yeah, I hit the gym 6 days a week, but I'm also not eating all my meal prep 6 or 7 days out of the week. Like, I go out with my friends, you know, I have a good time. Like, I go out for lunch, go out for breakfast, whatever. I just like, you have to have a balance.
Of course.
You have to have a balance. I think it's the biggest thing I can recommend is having balance. But,
yeah. And so what would you say, like, people who have, for example, cravings, you know, like, you know, I can't leave, like, I eat out every day. I'm a student. I can't. I need to buy food at the cafe. Yeah. What will you say to them? Like, is there a way they could eat clean food?
Yeah. I mean, definitely don't go from 0 to 100. You know, like, don't go from doing what you're doing now to completely changing it by the next day. There has to be a good kind of like leeway into it and like a good balance where it's like, okay, let's say 2 or 3 weeks this week, I'm going to let myself, or I'm going to treat myself out to lunch or to dinner or getting food at the cafe, especially at school. And then slowly being, okay, I did 3 days last week. Maybe let's try 2 days this week. And then maybe one day the next. But I mean, cravings, I think everyone gets cravings, especially girls. I think you know what I'm talking about by that. But like, you're allowed to, you know, there's no, you can't, and you can, or you know what I mean? Like, there's no no's, there's no yeses. It's, you do whatever you think is good for you, and you do whatever, like, if you have a craving, treat yourself, you know, because at the end of the day, I feel like, especially for me, it's like you get a craving and then I push it off for a little bit, and then by the end of the week, I'm binge eating, and I'm like, okay, well, balance. It's literally all about balance, 100%. And I mean, I think meal prep too, especially for a busy college student, meal prep is one of the best things you can do. You have, you know, your set meals in the fridge, you just take them out when you gotta go, and then you have them and you're set pretty much for the week. And then it's like anything else that you want to treat yourself to, go for it.
Clean eating. So do you have any recipes that you do?
Honestly, I love stir fries. I won't even lie. They're so quick. They're so easy. Honestly, like, I just do whatever kind of protein, like chicken, rice, throw some veggies in there, put some sauce on it, and it's But I don't have any like specific recipes. I kind of just like I stick my meal like my meals are pretty basic. I just meal prep during the week. I have my my ground meat and rice. I have my like pasta or chicken or no recipes or anything off the top of my head. But I mean, especially like with the internet now, I mean you can look anything up and they're right in front of you. Open TikTok, scroll, recipe right there. So super easy. Don't be afraid to try things either. I think that was my thing too is I tried so much, especially during COVID. I was like, oh, I have all this time. I can cook. Let's try a million recipes and see what I like. And I did. It's pretty good. But, yeah.
Any favorites?
Any favorite recipes?
Yeah. Or any food in particular?
Favorite food is tacos, 100%. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Favorite recipes? No, honestly, I can't think off the top of my head. No, I don't think so. Oh, actually, you know what? That's a lie. Okay, so I do the salad. Really good. So it's spinach, sweet potato, avocado, feta cheese, like diced almonds, and then add some chicken onto that with some balsamic dressing.
Perfect.
So good.
It's so good.
Oh, so good.
As soon as there's feta, I'm like,
yeah, how did you say that?
Yeah, like avocado and feta is like so great together.
Yeah. Oh yes. What's yours? Do you have any go-tos?
Like I tried so many, like it was a learning phase for me those months, and I've simplified it to like 4 or 5 recipes, but I definitely have, like, if I just was like not taking care about the healthy side of it, I would say I really love making, I love making oven baked salmon,
nice.
like with a butter lemon sauce.
Oh, yum.
And I do like also on the side having like a spicy garlic garlic bread.
Yeah.
And a bit of mozzarella on it just to.
That sounds so good. I might need that recipe from you. Won't lie. That sounds amazing.
I have my notebook of recipes. You know,
perfect.
Sometimes I go very like rowdy into the mixing. I have this marinade of chicken, which is amazing right now. It's like so my routine is I don't do meal prep. Okay. But I have a cycle. So during weekends, what I will cut all the vegetables. Yeah. Bell peppers and broccoli. Yeah. Cut them. Yeah. I started this like 3 weeks ago. So I'm starting to see the benefits of it.
Yes, absolutely.
And I do my burger patties during the weekends also. So I buy like a big like 1.5 kilos of burger ground beef, lean ground beef. And then I make 160 grams patties of each, 150. So I know I have 5 meals of it. So
that's awesome.
So I eat like 300 grams per meal. Like I said, why do I have to eat so much? Because I still feel hungry after that a little bit. But you shouldn't eat to feel full. Like exactly, it's so bad. Yeah. So and so I'm trying to do that. So I love the burger patties, which I'm making right now. They're so good. That's like awesome. I put like garlic powder. I put chili powder. Nice. I put smoked paprika. And I put like, that's basically it. But I put a lot of it. Oh, yeah. And then I'm like, oh my God. And I put also fresh onions, yellow onions. So the onions like infuse into the burger. Yeah. And you're having this crispiness of the onions in the patty. I say, awesome. Why is this not in a bun? And the side of broccolis or the bell peppers are amazing. But the steamed broccolis, I'm like, it's there, but like I like it. That's awesome. So among my steamed veg, it's what I prefer. So, but in a bun, I can imagine it being so tasty. I like it. But I'm trying to go like low carb, so that's what I'm trying to do. So yeah. I mean, low carb's good too, but also like it's not bad. Like if you want to have a bun with your burger, have a bun with your burger. I think it's just about thinking about eating in like a calorie deficit, especially if you're trying to lose weight, eat a calorie deficit. But I mean, that comes with experience. But I might need that recipe too. That sounds actually really fucking good. Like, so I make all of my colleagues at the SATs every time. Yeah. I need to know if people like really like it. Yeah. Is it actually good or do I just think it's good? And like how I like patties to be done. It's like I love them like 1 centimeter, like and like the edges are a bit thinner. Yeah. So it has this crisp side. And actually, one of my colleagues now, hey, you know what? I've started doing my own burger patties. He's at the gym also. He works out also. Like I'm doing a trend here. Like you have a burger patty. It's so good. Like because I hated the burgers when I came here. I was like, why is this so chewy? Why this has no flavor? Okay. And I was like, how do I solve this problem? I say I have no choice but
make it yourself.
Make it myself.
But I mean, do you think as well too, like when you first started cooking, that it was kind of like a challenge, like, oh, I have to cook again. But now, do you think that it's more of like a routine, and you build a habit, so now you actually enjoy doing it more?
I'm definitely riding on a momentum.
Okay.
So definitely at the beginning. So I started cooking just because this year actually
Yeah.
because well I cooked before,
Mhm.
but when you move to new places, you're just learning a new life.
100%.
So basically there are a lot of things that goes in the way. So I had the holidays during Christmas, and I said the best Christmas gift that I can give myself is get back to the routine I had back home,
That's awesome.
which made me healthy.
Yeah.
So I say, let me cook during. I was feeling so weak because December was my final assignment, so I started my course in summer, and I was eating Dairy Queens every day.
Yum. Good choice though.
It's so good.
Yes.
Why is it so good? But a part of me also hates it because I don't find pastries like I find back home. Because I think a lot of pastries here are very sugary.
Yeah.
Which is not what I like. I like the fluffiness of like cakes.
Yes.
Back in France, they have those like we use a lot of eggs, a lot of very flour, so it's so soft.
I can imagine
when you put
so
that
different.
cake. It's all amazing. So like that, yeah. But I don't find it here. But sometimes because the sugar is so high, you get that sugar craving.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I'm trying. I've definitely like reduced my sugars to like 2 times per week now, and the goal is to eliminate it completely.
Yeah.
But definitely coming back to your question, like cooking at first was very difficult.
Yes.
Because everything is organization and planning.
Yeah.
I started building a timetable. I find myself no choice. Like, recipe A, Monday, Tuesday, I eat this. Then Wednesday, I switch it up. Then it switches up because I bank on my weekend to prep very easily. So, and then I bank Monday, Tuesday is the same recipe because I want to start my week very well.
Yes.
And then I can switch my recipes perfectly. So
that's awesome.
It took me almost a year to find. So 20th of March will be 1 year. I'm in Canada. So it took me 1 year, but I'm super happy about it.
Oh, that's
like
amazing.
It's learning, so many things, learning, oh, this doesn't work like this, this work like that.
Yeah.
So now I find the perfect meal balance, workout. I know how to implement it.
Yeah.
I have a calendar, so everything is
That's perfect. Yeah.
So I feel like a year of learning, now I'm in a year of trying to stabilize things.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, I think going back to the talk of routines is it's hard to find one because you have to try so many different things to see what suits you. What I do is definitely not the same as you do. You do it's not the same. But I think that's where like the patience part comes in and like how important it is, even going back to the gym, just like meal prepping and meal planning and meals in general is build your routine, try different things, see what you like, take out what you don't, keep what you do, and then just build it on from there. But it takes a lot of patience, and I'm sure you can agree with that for sure.
A lot of patience, a lot of mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of, okay, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
How to make it better? So much. Like, I wanted to get serious, like, for fall. Like, fall also, I say, fall, I'm going. But then, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Then I say, assignments on the way, so how do I do this, do that?
Yes.
Then I say, readjust this, readjust that. Which recipes takes too much time to cook?
Yeah.
There was some, I was doing like a batch of roasted veggies.
Yes.
Too much time.
Yeah.
I am like, no, can't do that. Then I have this microwave bowl where I put water and I steam veggies. 8 minutes, broccolis are cooked.
Perfect.
So good. Easily every day, hot food, freshly made.
Yes.
So yeah, I need that freshness.
Yeah,
I can't with meal prep. Like for me, after 3 days, it's like, it's not for me, but it works for.
Yeah, and I mean, I think meal prep works for me just because, I mean, I'm at school from 7:30, 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. every night. Yeah. So for me, it's just like, okay, I know I have it. I have the nutrients I need. I can hit the gym and I'm still going to have energy. Whereas on the weekends is where I'm like, okay, what can I cook this weekend for myself? Let's get some fresh food. Let's go out. Let's treat myself a little bit. So I pretty much bank on my weekends to be that supply of fresh food for me. And then my weeks are so busy that I'm like, I'm just happy to have food in front of me. I'm like, oh, perfect. I'll heat it up and it'll be fine. I'll be good to go. Yeah.
And so now let's talk about, with a gym lifestyle come very happy people enthusiastically. Hey, do you want some juice? Do you want some? No, it's not like that. Let's talk about supplements.
Yes. So once again, how should I say this? Supplements are beneficial. I mean, there's definitely a lot of benefits to them. Protein powder, I think, is the most common one. Yeah. It's easy. I mean, like make a smoothie for yourself, throw some protein powder in it, and now you have your supply of protein for that meal, at least anyways. But I think you can also get the same protein concentrations from other sources. You don't necessarily need protein powder. Like if you start at the gym, don't think, oh my God, I have to get protein powder. You don't have to. And that really comes down to personal preference. And once again, comes down to your goals. I mean, supplements, I take supplements. Right now I'm on creatine, glutamine. I take greens because I don't eat enough vegetables. Don't tell my mom that. And I use protein powder as well too. Yeah. But each person's going to have their own individual goals, and that's kind of why you tailor your supplements to them. But they are expensive. Definitely not going to lie about that. They're expensive. And I don't think that when you start out, they're necessary right off the bat. But I think with time, the more you learn, the more you get into it, I think you're going to start taking more of an interest to it, which you should, or not you should, but you can. And if you don't, then absolutely that's not a problem at all either. They're not necessary.
Well, I'm not too much of this. So this was a question a bit for myself also. Yeah. Well, I have like my French coach, but I always went from the root to, I never took any supplements, but I'm starting, it's more for daily lifestyle supplement, like magnesium citrate, for example. I just have it to have a good sleep,
For sure. And I mean, that's okay. And I mean, like I said, going back to it, it's really person dependent and what your goals are. And I mean, take your daily vitamin or don't. It really is up to you, because I think if you're eating well, then you're going to have that supply of nutrients anyways, versus if you, like for me, for example, I don't buy fresh vegetables because I'm trying more to save money, and I spend honestly more on protein, but that's suiting my goals, so it's like I buy my greens, I have them in the morning, they taste good. I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to start my day.
So when I started working out very serious, 2 terms I learned. Calorie deficit. Calorie surplus.
Yes.
Those were the 2 keywords when I started back in 2018. Yeah. So this was like a big revelation to me back then. What is calorie deficit? Wow, this is actually something real. Yeah. Like then I was like, okay, let me try that. Like my mom, she's very like, sure, you need to eat food every time. And then I'm like, well, just eat and keep that in a bag and then give it to my friend. And it worked, super worked so well. Awesome. And are there any fitness terms to you that like people should know when starting to work out?
Not that I can really think of off the top of my head. I mean, I think calorie surplus and calorie deficit are really important ones. Once again, comes back to eating. Because I think growing up, I mean, you don't really think about calories. You're like, well, what's a calorie? I don't know, sure. Yeah. But I think learning those terms too, and learning how to use them, how to implement them, I think that's super important. I mean, in terms of other gym terms, I don't know. I think maybe I'm just so used to it now that I'm like, oh, what's a gym term? Yeah. But no, I think I agree with you where calorie surplus and calorie deficit are probably the 2 that I learned right off the bat as well too, and I think are very important. Fitness terms. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about it. So fitness terms, ones that you're going to commonly hear, your sets and your reps. If you have absolutely no idea what those are, I'll tell you right now. So your reps is how many you're doing. So let's say you're going to do squats. Say I want to do 8 squats. So I'm going to do 8 reps. Yeah. And then sets is how many times you're going to do those reps. So let's say I want to do 4 sets. So I'm going to do 4 sets of 8 reps. So that means that I'm doing 8 reps of squats, but I'm going to do that 4 times, if that makes sense.
And recovery.
Recovery. Oh my goodness, recovery is a big one.
We're doing a little quiz here.
So, I mean, we talked about stretching earlier, which is super good to start your warm-up. It's good to get blood flow. Your recovery stretching, I mean, I wish I could say I stretch after my workouts. I really should. It's super important. Most of the times I'm just like in and out of the gym, but recovery is super important. You want to fill your body back with good foods. Your body needs the nutrients to repair the muscles you just tore, because basically what happens is when you work out and you feel it in your muscles, you're lifting heavy, you're lifting weights, is your muscle fibers actually start to tear. Now this is getting a little bit into like human kinetics and health. but the nutrients are super, super, super beneficial and important after your workout. Okay, I just worked out, have a good balanced meal. Now your body has the nutrients to repair those muscles to build strength. And then going into strength, I mean, what is strength? I mean, strength is how much, I guess, force and power your muscles can exert, and like how much you're able to lift, how much you're like how fast you're able to run. There's different variations of it.
Compound training.
So compound training. So your compound movements, basically what a compound is it targets many different muscle groups in your body. So for example, I think the deadlift is probably the best way to explain a compound movement. I mean, you have the pulling force, but you're using your legs, you're using a little bit of like your lower back, you're using your upper body. It's kind of targeting different muscles in different areas of your body.
And what is the opposite of compound?
Opposite of compounds, I mean,
isolation.
Isolation. Yes, you have your isolation training. So I mean, if you do bicep curls, bicep curls, or if you do like the leg extension machine, or you do calf raises, you're not targeting many muscle groups. You're specifically targeting one. So you're kind of isolating that muscle group and training that specific one.
And I guess everybody knows cardio. What is
cardio sucks. Cardio. I hate cardio. Cardio is super important, though. I mean, as far
super cool.
It's super cool.
Not the treadmill is not, but
treadmill no. But I mean, there's different variations of cardio, and I think I think before you start out in the gym, is your basic idea of cardio is I have to run on the treadmill. I have to do the Stairmaster. It's very. I think it's very confined to that, but I mean, there's so many different variations of cardio. You have your plyometrics, which is like more training jumping, or you have your like endurance, and like even with weights,
functional training.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I was looking for. So there's different variations of it too, and I think the more you go into your gym journey, and the more you start training, is the more you get to learn of that. Yeah.
And now we come more to the chill stuff. How important is it for you, like a right selection of clothes to go to a gym?
I mean, it's super important. I mean, part of feeling good, I don't want to say is looking good, but feeling comfortable in what you're wearing. You know, like if you're not comfortable in an outfit, you're probably not going to perform at your top 100%, maybe because you're worried about other people, which you should never be. You should be comfortable. Never. You know, I think the gym is a very safe place, which I think a lot of people get that confused. It's like, oh my God, it's so intimidating. People are going to make fun of me. But people are so focused on their own workout, and it's like they're there to help you with your form, but just feel comfortable in what you're wearing. I mean, I think my clothing has changed. I used to wear leggings all the time. Now I'm like wearing shorts all the time. I love my big oversized t-shirts. I think that's what I'm most comfortable in, but it's very person dependent once again, and what you're comfortable in.
Oversized or fitted?
Depends what I'm doing for my workout. I honestly go oversized just because I like to like feel like I'm floating in my clothes. I don't have to worry about it. And then I feel like if I'm covered, I'm not like so worried about like other people or like what they see or what I see. Like I'm just more focused on focus on my form, focus on my fitness or my technique, and then I go from there. But I mean, I still wear my fitted clothes as well too. I mean, you have your leggings, your shorts, but once again, very person dependent.
And would you say like, for me, my superpowers are in music. So without music, I can't.
I love music. Yes,
I need music.
I mean, I'm the same way as well too, where it's like I love working out with my music. I put it in, and it's almost like I go into like my own little world where it's like, okay, now it's just me, my music, and the weights. I can focus, and it's almost like a good break in my day where it's like I can kind of clear my head for a second. And I think that's also the beauty in going to the gym too, is like now it's not like I'm only doing this for my physical health, but I'm also doing it for my mental health as well too, because I know I can go there, I can just like either take out my frustration on the weights, or I can kind of just have a good workout and really just like sit with myself, my thoughts for a second, and just jam to my music. I'm sure you've seen me. I dance around the gym sometimes. Oh, bust a little move, but
it's part of me also. Like so sometimes I do weird things when I'm in my rest. I'm like, when I'm listening like to super hype music, I'm like shaking my
you're getting excited. Like,
the intensity is building inside of me, and it's difficult to contain it. Or sometimes when it's like, for example, a reggaeton track is playing, but I'm more like
dance a little bit. Of course,
that's cool. I'm back to like, you know, I'm on tropical island back again dancing. So it depends. Like I'm very like, when you have your headsets and you know, the workout helps a lot, making you like
For sure.
Brief
For sure.
for your mental health. So it's great.
Yeah.
So what are the go-to tracks for you right now?
Oh my goodness. See, I love EDM. I love electronic music. Oh, perfect.
Hardwell was
Hardwell, yes, Hardwell, super good.
Yeah.
But honestly, in the gym, I'm listening more to like your dubstep. I'm listening to hard style.
Yeah. Headhunters.
Headhunters, yeah. Love Headhunters. I listen to all of that. I mean, that's my music too. My friends and I go to raves all the time too. So I mean, it's just also fun too. It's like, okay, I get to listen to my favorite tracks in the gym. I think my go-tos right now. Oh my god, let's look to see what my go-tos are. I don't know. See, I love music, so I have a lot of it. I don't think I can pick one. Let me just throw out some artists. Okay. Let's think. I listen to Subtronics, Excision.
That's super hot.
Yes. That's dubstep. Yeah. That's dubstep. Yeah. But I love bass. Yeah, Excision, Subtronics. Oh my god, I can name like a million of them, but now of course I'm blanking. Sullivan King, Sudden Death. I love some good bass house, so I'm gonna say like Knock 2. I'm gonna say, oh my goodness, why can't I think of them off the top of my head now? A million of them. I have so many. I'm a big bass house now. Michael Sparks. Michael Sparks is one of my favorite. Absolutely.
Hardstyle is like a genre which is like, if I find it good, I'll listen. Headhunters is, for me, was the gateway to hardstyles back when he did like Dragonborn or Essence of Love. Those kind of tracks. I also like Atmospheres in hardstyle. It's more like when I'm a progressive house fan.
Yeah, so I love progressive house too.
Like I love the melody and the drive of a drop. Like
yes.
It goes because the music tells a bit of a story. So I think Atmospheres has that right balance of like using substances of progressive house and then the drops. Of hard style in it. So that's why I like Atmospheres a lot. And Ultra 2013, I guess. That Hardwell set, like, oh my god, it's
so
this
good.
One, I still listen to it to this day. I'm like, you know what, the paycheck is coming late, so let me put.
No, that's all. No, I mean it's good. I love progressive house. I saw Tiesto last summer. I saw Armin last summer. Yeah, amazing sets. I mean, Martin Garrix always is phenomenal. But yeah, I think it's honestly, in terms of the gym, it's just about finding playlist that you like. I mean, not every day is I'm listening to EDM. Some days I'm having a quiet day and I might just throw on some, throw on some country. Or, I just throw on some like slower songs, some pop. But for the most part, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's EDM all the time. Yeah.
For me right now, it's like metal.
Okay.
It's like EDM is more like when I do cardio. Yeah. It's like
to keep you pumped up. Let's go.
When I used to do functional training, it would keep me like keep in movement. It's because there's that element of dancing which is new.
Absolutely.
But for lifting heavy weights, I'm like metal, and I recently discovered Black Sabbath, like iconic band. I also listen to West Coast rap when I work out. Yeah, I love a good Tupac or a good ECP or Ice Cube. Sometimes because the lyrics when are punchy, they're like it drives you so much. Also metal, like the riffs sometimes.
And you're like, okay, I'm ready to lift. I'm ready to lift now.
I can't resist. Like for strength training, I put like 3 minutes of rest, but timer's on. I'm like, come on. I need that. So anyways, like EDM, perfect kind of music. But also, like you say, sometimes having a chill music is good. Like when I need to rest, sometimes I put like classic music or very.
And I mean, I think honestly too, and this I think goes for a lot in the gym as far as like how hard you're training, what you're training. Listening to your body, I think, is the most important thing ever. I mean, and then ego lifting comes into play, right? Like if you're not feeling 100% that day, you don't have to give it your usual 100%. If your 100% that day is just giving your normal 80, then you still gave your 100%. Listen to your body. If you want to have a slow day, put some slower music on. You don't have to force yourself. But I think the biggest thing is showing up. It makes the biggest difference ever. Even when you say you don't want to go to the gym, just show up and you're going to thank yourself a million times afterwards because you still showed up. But listen to your body. Your music will help with that as well too. Slower days, slower music. If you want to go like boss the wall and have a great lift, put on some EDM. I'll send you some great tracks. Yeah.
And so coming more like the nitty-gritty part of working out. What are your gym pet peeves? What do you see people do, or when you yourself like, gym pet peeves? Like, it might not be everyone's.
Yeah.
But what are the things which you see people do?
I think that there's two things that really stick out to me. Is one, people who don't re-rack their weights. Oh my goodness. Like, you're using them, put them back where you found them. I mean, like, yes, there's staff that work at the gym, but it's not up to them, and it's not their responsibility to re-rack your own weights. Like, you use them, put them back. I think that's a simple rule that you learn as soon as you turn like 2 years old. And I think my second gym pet peeve is space. I know the gym gets busy. I get it. You know, even the gym here is pretty big, but it's not too big. So yes, it gets busy, but just be aware of the space and the people around you, you know? Like, if someone is standing in front of the mirror to watch their form, don't go stand in front of them, you know? And like, if people have like their weights out, don't go just stand beside them because you think it's a good spot. Like, let people have their space, you know? Like, let people have their own personal space, and give yourself room as well too, to like be able to move and do the movements properly. I think those are my two. I don't know if you have any, but
let's start the list. I do agree with you. In the gym, we do have codes. We do have, I believe people who train in front of a dumbbell rack, like, the dumbbell rack is here, all the weights, and you're here, you're working out. I first having space, but if you are in a place where people will commute a lot, take dumbbells, I should not be in front of you. You're like here, and so I always have this rule of stay like at least 1 meter, 2 meters away from the rack, so people can move.
To give it, to give them space to get weights.
And it just take 2 seconds, but I will take it. Even like I feel, somebody's, let me pick it quickly. Because I have been told like gym ethics, like very well by my coach. With gym coaches, they're like, because they care about the space, they're like, first thing before you train, you rack. After you rack, you clean. After you clean, then you have your towel. I always bring my towel. I kept this habit. It's not mandatory. You can wipe it. But I have kept this habit of every time I sit on a bench, I'm going to put my towel behind because I don't want my sweat getting on that bench. And then after using it, I wipe it. So
and I think that's the biggest thing too. Is just like cleaning up after yourself, and that goes for anywhere, right? But I think the biggest thing in the gym too, re-rack your weights, wipe down your benches. It's simple, really, but I think a lot of people have a hard time with that. And I think that's the frustrating part, is that it's like some of us are holding up our parts, but it's like, why can't you? You know, if we're all doing it, we should all be able to do it.
You know, the group reservation bench press, when 4 people reserve a bench press for them, like there are 4 people, they're all friends. And oh my God,
it takes time.
I hate this one also.
That one is tough a little bit too. I mean, I can see it like if your friend's going for a PR, but I mean, if you're just all kind of hanging out there on one bench for an hour, okay, let's move on to something else.
Oh, don't disturb people when they're working out. Actually.
Oh my goodness, yes. I have to agree. I mean, especially when you first start out. I mean, like I said earlier, like, don't hesitate to come talk to anyone that's in the gym, like ask us questions, but there's a time to ask questions, and it's, if someone's in the middle of a set, that's not the time to ask a question. You know, wait till they're like in their rest stage to start talking to them, and just be mindful that, you know, not everyone is there to socialize. You know, a lot of people are just there to do their workout and leave. So just be respectful and mindful of that as well too.
You know, like sometimes like I'm working out and I have like one of my, he's like staring at me to finish my squat. I'm in my and has this stupid stare which I hate. Which I like, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to finish it now. Breaking the mood, you know, like Well, anyways, those are my pet peeves. I guess we pretty sum up like working out into like what it is about.
I think
like,
it was pretty good, and I mean, then again, I think my final notes on the gym is just to say, like, if you have questions about something, you're intimidated about starting, you know, like, you can ask me if I'm in the gym. You're more than welcome to come up talk to me. But I mean, more than welcome to ask anyone. I think everyone will be more than willing to help you and answer your questions and be there for you. And yes, it's intimidating at first, but I mean, I think the scariest thing to anything in life is just taking that first step. So once you take that first step, you're gonna be like, what was I even like worried about? Like, even for myself looking back, I'm like, what was I worried about? you know, like you get into the gym community, you get into a good routine, you feel good. There's so many benefits that it's just about taking that first leap, that first step, and you're set.
And I guess we're switching a little bit now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to intramurals.
Intramurals, yes.
It's one thing which wasn't the side. Like I didn't, busy student, like it's there.
Yeah.
But what is an intramural?
So an intramural team is basically just like a sign-up team. There's different sports. So SLC, I think right now they're running volleyball, basketball, maybe dodgeball. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But basically what it is you grab your friends, you make a team. It's one night a week, and you just play against other teams for fun, just to either stay consistent in the sport. Maybe you used to play, you haven't played anymore. Maybe you want to try the sport. Yeah. It's for everyone. Yeah.
And how do you join and how do you create one?
So basically how you join, how you create one, there's actually a website. It's called IM Leagues. What you do is you sign up. You can like sign up through school. I think there's a portal through the slc.me or however that works, whatever the name of it is. There's a portal through there. You can sign up through there. And then basically like the website itself is pretty self-explanatory. You sign up for the team, and then what it will do is it'll show you your schedule, and you'll have your schedule each week for what time you play, who you play against. You'll see the standings. So it's almost like if you used to play competitive sports, you used to kind of like that tournament mindset where it's like, okay, who won this? Who won that? What's next? And then you compete against each other. There's playoffs at the end of the year. And actually, there's prizes for the teams that win too. I think the prizes are like how do I explain this? Prizes are, you don't have to pay for the following season because the season is like $10 to play, which is fine. You get like tons of games for $10. It's so worth it. Tons of fun. You get to meet a lot of people. And then the other prize is, I think it's some gift cards to St. Larry's pub downstairs.
Okay.
So it's not bad. Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
And so tell us a bit about your team. You have been quite in the spotlight, the team.
Yeah, so my team, so my volleyball team, I actually play on the extracurricular team with them as well too. So I know them through there, but I only met them last year, so my team's a little bit newer. But when I first started out at SLC, so not this year, but the year before that, I knew I wanted to play volleyball intramurals. I was like, I haven't played volleyball forever. I want to play. So all I did was I signed up as a free agent. So when you sign up as a free agent, you don't have a team. However, you can join teams. You can request to join teams. You can get assigned to teams. So that way, it's an even better way to meet new people. And I think especially during COVID from last year too, it was an even better way to meet people too, because we weren't on campus as much. So it was great. It was awesome.
And so how is your team performing right now?
Oh, we're doing okay. We're doing pretty good. Yeah, I think we're doing great. I can't remember the standings off the top of my head, but I think for us, because like I said, we play extramurals, so that's very like intense. It's more competitive. So for intramurals, it's like, okay, let's just go. Let's have some fun. Let's just play volleyball. You know, it's fun. It's a good way to like end a busy Tuesday.
And what is extramural?
So extramurals. Is, I didn't even know about it. I actually learned about it last semester. So what it is basically the same kind of mindset as intramurals, where it's like you make your own team, but you make one team through the school. So we have one team, one extramural volleyball team, and instead of playing our school teams, we actually go to other schools. So I think it was in January, we went to a tournament at Seneca College. So we played Durham, we played Seneca, we played Mohawk College. We just played a variety of teams, variety of schools. So it's a lot of fun. It's basically like the same kind of concept as a varsity team, but we don't have as many practices. We don't have as many trainings, but you still get to play and get to practice your skill set on your sport.
Because varsity is more intense.
Varsity is definitely a lot more intense, absolutely.
There's like that obligation to be.
And I think our goal this year with the extramural volleyball team is to bring back the varsity volleyball teams for next year. So fingers crossed they bring it back. SLC, if you see this, bring back varsity volleyball. Because I mean, we have been working super hard all season to try and kickstart that like initiation again. And I think the volleyball intramurals is actually the biggest intramurals. There's a lot of teams. So hopefully that is the sign that SLC needs to bring back their varsity teams. I think that would be awesome. It'd be amazing.
Bring back volleyball.
Bring back volleyball 2023.
So because I've seen like it's for intramural, which is mostly every time I hang around Oh,
Yeah.
always like volleyball.
Yeah.
There's an enthusiast for it. Yeah, so I think tell us a bit about you, Kyra. What should people know about you?
What should people know about me? I don't know. That's such a tough question. I don't know. What do people want to know about me?
Well, your program, Vet Tech, not so many people are into that.
Yeah, not a lot of people know about Vet Tech either. I think the easiest way I can explain it is it's nursing, but just for animals instead of people. I definitely am more of an animal lover than a person, like a person. How do I say that? A people person?
People person.
Thank you. I still am, but I think I'm more interested in veterinary medicine to that standpoint. But yeah, we basically do what a nurse does as well too. So, you give your vaccines. We do, I know right now we've been prepping for surgery. So we'll be under the vet, we'll be circulating nurse. There's a million things we could do. Being a anesthetist, putting animals under. It's really interesting medicine and it's a lot of fun, but a lot of people definitely don't know about it. And I mean, I even remember I did a year at U Ottawa in kinetics actually before coming to St. Lawrence. And I was like, you know what? I like kinetics. I'm really interested in working out. And honestly, it taught me a lot too. And I kind of translated that progress and that knowledge into my own workouts. But I was looking through it and I was like, I don't think this is really for me. So I started looking through college and my stepdad was a huge supporter. He was like, I think you'd be a really great vet. I was like, yeah, I think you're right. So I think it was the last day of college deadlines. I applied for this here. I applied for vet tech here. I applied for vet tech in Ottawa and I applied to one other place. Can't think off the top of my head right now. I got in and I was like, you know what? Let's take the jump. It was a little bit scary, but I was like, let's take the jump. Let's move to a different city. Let's try it out. But VetTech's a great program. It's a lot of work. It's busy. It's intense. But I'm all for a challenge. I love challenges. So I was like, let's do it. And now we're here.
And what's your best experience with? I think there's so many countless experience with animals, but what's a memory that you keep in mind,
from this program, or just from the love of animals?
From the love. In general.
I think it was just honestly, my mom is a big dog person. So growing up with dogs, I had cats growing up as well too. And honestly, just, I rode horses every now and then. I think it was just kind of getting that diverse and honestly really positive experience with animals that I was like, I love them. How could you not? I love them. They're so cute. They're amazing.
I'm a cat person.
Are you?
Yeah.
I have a cat.
I love cats. My saved Instagram reels, it's just full of cats.
Full of cats? I love it.
They're so intriguing animals.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
They are in our everyday life, but they're so mysterious.
They are. And honestly, even thinking, the more that I learned in this program is they are so unique. They're interesting. I'll say the least. But yeah.
Have you seen a trend of cats, how they treat cats in Turkey?
No.
In Turkey, they have such this huge respect in their culture.
Oh, really?
For cats, it used to be a deity,
Okay.
So cats are treated with very much respect,
awesome.
Dogs are treated, even more. It's cats are people. If you see a stray cat, feed it. If you see them, take time to pet them.
That's awesome.
If you go watch videos of butchers, if the cats come inside, we will cut a piece of meat.
Oh, that's amazing! I didn't even know that.
I just want to visit Turkey for that.
Yeah.
Just to see that respect. Traveling is a big part of my life.
For sure.
Canada, it was let me come to Kingston.
Yeah.
So cats. They also have an ability to detect if something is wrong with you.
Yes.
For example, I read this testimonial of a lady. My cat literally saved my life because I was sleeping on my heart or anything and I was starting and the cat touched it and
there's super intelligent animals and I think animals just in general have such a beneficial and importance in our everyday lives, and I wish people could also see that because I know some people can't, but I mean it's back to personal preference. But yeah, amazing. That's amazing.
So how long have you been here?
I've been here since September 2021, I think. When I first started St. Lawrence, I came here. Originally from Ottawa, though. I like Ottawa, but I don't know if I'd move back there. I think, if anything, I'd love to go to Montreal. Montreal's kind of my dream city. I have a lot of family from Montreal. I honestly, I love Kingston. I think it's a really great university and college town. I think it serves its purpose. You meet a lot of people here. Even from work, I've met tons of people. That's great. It's small. It's like small town vibes, but also bigger cities. So you kind of get the best of both worlds.
If so, we love to end with sharing some love and appreciation. Who would you give a shout out to?
Oh my goodness! Shout out. Who could I give a shout out to? I feel like I give a shout out to so many people.
Please do. Love is limitless.
I'm gonna shout out Ben. Shout out Ben. Yeah. He's great. I mean, for so many reasons. I'll shout out my best friend from the program, Erica. She's literally my rock, especially in this program. It's a very tough and intense program, but she kind of helps guide me through it. So that's awesome. I mean, my family, of course. I mean, they're my rocks as well. And I think my friends back home, it's hard not seeing them 24/7, but I mean, they're definitely big inspirations and big motivators to keep me going. So they know who they are. I don't even have to name them, but yeah. And
what are you looking forward now to the future? What's next for you?
What is next for me? Yeah. Honestly, just keeping up with the gym, keeping my gym goals, they keep increasing. So I'm excited to see where that goes, where that takes me. Just to finish the end of the school year as strong as I possibly can. And to be able to enjoy summer and have a great time.
That's pretty much it. And thank you so much.
Oh, gosh, well, thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. Yeah. I think a lot of students also listening to this episode will find great value.
Well, I hope so. I hope so, yeah. And honestly, if anyone sees me around school and they have a couple questions about the gym, like, don't hesitate to come up and talk to me. I might look like I want to kill somebody. I swear to God, I don't. I normally just have a very straight face, but I mean, I'm always up for a conversation, so don't hesitate and just take that leap, take that step forward, and see what you're capable of.
And thank you again.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
And the episode is available. We have an episode releasing every Tuesday.
Awesome.
So, and so it's available on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, and also on YouTube. On YouTube, you can watch it visually, so which is great. And so do follow us on Instagram as well, which is SA Voice Podcast. And thank you so much to sticking to the end. And again, like, if you have any questions, you want a theme, the episode about something, please do let me know and we'll just do it. And thank you for watching again. Have again an amazing week at SLC. And we have just Kingston has been voted #1 city for students. So congratulations to us and see you soon. Bye-bye. See you next week. Cheers.
Bye.